Bombs, bloodshed, ballot. These three words rightly sum up any election in West Bengal. There's been large-scale violence that has become traditionally synonymous with the state's political culture. Political parties in the state have normalized violence, and it has somehow become a tool for them to win electoral battles. Mamata Banerjee's Bengal on Saturday reaffirmed its reputation as the state that sees the most poll violence anywhere in India. This after Bengal reported at least 16 deaths on the day of the Panchayat elections. 16, that's a very big number. All this while central forces were stationed at most polling booths, and the governor took to the streets urging people to exercise their franchise in the rural elections without any fail. Seems like in the fight between the ballots and the bullets have won. Let me tell you about 35 people having lost their lives since the announcement of the Panchayat elections on June 8th. June 8th is when the announcement happens. Till polling date, 35 people have lost their lives. And this is just a Panchayat election. Meanwhile, repolling is underway at 700 booths in West Bengal. Sporadic incidents of violence have been reported in Murshidabad. In East Midnapur, some villagers have boycotted the elections as well. On the other hand, Bengal Governor Ananda Bose is in Delhi today, and as we speak, he is meeting the Union Home Minister Amit Shah and will be submitting a report on the poll violence to him. The governor, of course, has witnessed it all: the bloodbath, the complaints, and the pain and the politics, because he has been visiting violence-hit areas in the state and has also been meeting with victims' family members. The latest was the family of a TMC worker who was killed in pre-poll violence in Cooch Behar. He had blamed the state election body for this pre-poll violence. The governor's visits, his political statements had irked the Trinamool Congress. The TMC had also written to the state poll body alleging that the governor was interfering in the election process and had violated the model code of conduct by meeting leaders from the BJP, hinting that the relationship has hit stormy seas. Let's rewind to a time when Ananda Bose was given the responsibility of West Bengal as governor. His bonhomie with Didi at the Saraswati Puja had become talk of town. He was initiated into the world of Bengali alphabets. Saraswati Bandana was also recited at the lawns of the Raj Bhavan. It was indeed a break from the past. Unlike his predecessor, Governor Bose distanced himself from politics and was treading on a path which was very different from his immediate predecessor, and you know who that was, Jagdeep Dhamkar. Every day they were news. The governor and the chief minister's proximity, in fact, had bothered the BJP, but now it seems like equations have changed completely. The governor's political stance, which is apparently different from that of the TMC's, has disappointed Didi and has once again brought the Raj Bhavan and the state government's equation to square one. Let's try and see if we can go across to our reporter who's tracking that meet. Let's quickly go and see if we can. All right. First, let's listen into some sound bites that have come in, and then we'll go to our reporter before we go to our guests.
गवर्नर तो दिल्ली जाना था, तो दिल्ली उन्होंने चला गया। उन्होंने बोला है जो खुली हवा के लिए वो दिल्ली जा रहा है। ये तो सरासर बंगाल को इंसल्ट करना है। वो गवर्नर भाजपा का दलाल, भाजपा का एजेंट, वो बांग्ला को इंसल्ट करके दिल्ली में खुली हवा के लिए वो वहां पर ही रहना चाहिए। उनको बंगाल में उनको लौटना की कोई भी जरूरत नहीं है।
Quickly going across for a chat with my guest this evening, Dr. Avra Sen is the BJP West Bengal spokesperson joining us on the broadcast. Hi, Dr. Sen, good to have you on the show. Muhammed Zeeshan is a TMC supporter joining us on the broadcast. And as always, we have Shikha Mukherjee, who's a senior journalist who tries and makes sense of all that is happening in West Bengal for our viewers. Shikha ji, thank you very much for being with us as well. Dr. Avra Sen, I think I should go to Zeeshan, Muhammed Zeeshan first. Muhammed Zeeshan, please tell me, what is the problem if the governor is in Delhi to give a report to the Home Minister about the violence that West Bengal has seen? 35 people have been killed since the rural polls were announced in West Bengal. A complete and colossal failure of the state government to maintain peace and calm during a crucial phase. Now, if the governor has gone to give his report to the Home Minister, you're saying he's a BJP agent. You are saying that he's insulted Bengal by saying that कि वो खुली हवा में सांस लेने जा रहे हैं. Why is that? He's just doing his job.
Miss Shreya, we are not having any problem if governor is visiting Delhi. Our problem is he's seeing the picture through his one eye only. He's not using his both the eyes because he's seeing only the people from BJP party are being killed. Why his eyes are not on the TMC workers who have been killed in the incident? And as per your information, I would like you to inform that more than 60% of people belong to the TMC party, All India Trinamool Congress party, who have lost their lives during the polls, during the elections. Why the governor did not visit a single home of any TMC worker? So the biasness, the partiality is being seen by the whole India. He is the constitutional head of our state. We do not expect one-sided or biased partial behavior from his side. He's telling that he is not getting fresh air in Bengal. That's why our chief spokesperson Kunal Ghosh has suggested that he must stay in Delhi. If the air of West Bengal is not fresh enough for Mr. Governor, then he should stay at Delhi. That would be better for him. And I would like to inform you that this time the violence which have occurred across Bengal, there are more than 60,000 booths. And according to the report, we are finding that only in 60 booths, 60 booths, we are finding the report of violence or any ruckus which have occurred. That means only 1% of the booths in Bengal have reported violence. Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Those who have lost their lives, be it a CPIM worker, be it a BJP worker, be it a ISF worker, be it a TMC worker, anyone who has lost their lives
No,
during the
but
election,
Mohammed
is
Zeeshan, it
really
is a
very
bit
unfortunate.
rich.
Actions
Acha,
will
theek
be
hai, Mohammed
taken against the
Zeeshan.
criminals,
No,
against
no.
the wrongdoers.
You know what is also unfortunate is that the TMC blaming the governor for the violence in the Panchayat polls. I mean, how's the governor to blame? It's the TMC that is to blame. Law and order comes under the TMC. What does the governor have to do with violence in the elections?
Madam Shreya, you must know, the governor, when he was visiting several districts during this election violence period, at that time, at a particular district where he visited, at the same district, we find in some different blocks, the members of BJP, the criminals of BJP, has abducted TMC workers, beat them, trashed them in presence of the governor in that district. So we are finding this, that wherever governor is visiting, their TMC workers are beaten up. They are being trashed by the BJP workers. Why this coincidence? Why this coincidence? Thus, governor is giving confidence or morale boost to the BJP workers, those who are carrying bombs and pistols in their hands to attack the TMC workers. And everyone is blaming Trinamool Congress for this violence activity during the polls, during the elections. If TMC was involved in all this, then why the number of workers in TMC died more than any other parties? The number of workers in our party who died were more than 60% in relation or in comparison to other
Dr.
parties.
Sen,
If TMC
Dr.
was
Sen, you're
involved,
representing the
if Mamata
BJP
Banerjee's
this
government
evening.
was involved, then why our own party workers will be targeted and killed in
Please allow
numbers
me
in
to give the
comparison
rebuttal.
to the political party?
Okay.
This is a bigger
Yes, Dr. Sen, I will allow you to wait. I'll allow you time for a rebuttal. But please tell me, I mean, you can answer to the political rhetoric that your TMC compatriot has just put out on Mirror now. But I want to ask you this. Is it the governor's job to go visiting victims of poll violence in the state of West Bengal or anywhere else? If he does, then he will be seen as a political agent. That's not his job.
No, you have to understand that the state of West Bengal has descended to a condition of anarchy. There is no law and order in this state. If we go back a few days, we'll see the Gazette notification that was published by the State Election Commission head. It did not have the day of counting of the votes. It's a Freudian slip, I would say, because the State Election Commission, in close collusion with the state government or TMC, were planning to hatch this kind of situation in the state. They did not have any intention of having a proper poll. They went to the High Court as well as the Supreme Court to appeal against the deployment of central forces in the state, knowing very well that we do not have the required number of state police in our state to take care of the election in just one phase. If we go back to the Panchayat elections of 2013 and 2018, we'll see, as per the directions of the Supreme Court, the Panchayat elections in 2013 were held in 5 phases with the central force. And in the year 2018, the Panchayat elections were done in 3 phases with the state police force. So what is the rationale behind conducting the polls on one single day? And while we are very clear about the thing that we can understand that the State Election Commission and the TMC or the state government had no intention of allowing the central forces to get deployed in Bengal on that single day of poll. So it is very clear that these two bodies had no intention of conducting proper polls. Now, if we come back to the point of the lives that were lost, as far as we are concerned, we are getting the reports that as many as 43 people have already lost their lives from the day of the nomination. It's a horrific number, and we are really aghast by the way things are being handled. I would just like to point a few things that the DG of the state police had commented
Dr. Sen,
a few days back in a media
no, 1 minute. 1 minute. You have not responded either to my query or the point that the TMC spokesperson put. I want to ask you, when the governor says that instead of poverty, we are killing people in a state that is, racked and reeked by violence, please tell me whether the governor has crossed a line or not. Please tell me in which state you see governors visiting victims of poll violence. He's crossing a line there. He's behaving like a politician.
Just give me 20 seconds. I'll explain this matter to you. A few days back, we saw the DG of state police saying that some choto ghotonas have happened, some small incidents have happened. By that time, over 20-25 people had already lost their lives. And the DG of police was downplaying the entire situation. We saw the state police giving a report to the court and the State Election Commission that none of the people have died during the polling period, while already 10, 15, 20 people had already died by then. In this situation, also I would like to remind that the High Court had instructed the State Election Commission to open a grievance cell. And it was, again, not adhered to by the State Election Commission. In this situation, the governor started a peace room at the governor's house. And he got innumerable calls from different corners of the state of violence being unleashed on them by goons sponsored by the TMC. In this situation, we believe the governor was compelled to visit places. And the TMC spokesperson has lied on a few things. The governor has specifically, categorically visited people who belong to the TMC and who were victims of the violence. I would like to point out that TMC is such a party. I'm just showing a press release by AITC. Just 2 days prior to the election, the All India Trinamool Congress just gave out this press release, and they have suspended 96 leaders from their party. So this is the condition of TMC. The infighting in TMC for the purpose of having cut money and siphoning off the funds of various beneficiary schemes which are meant for the common people. This is the main thing which is driving TMC to unleash violence.
Don't deviate from don't deviate from the topic at hand. We have discussed West Bengal's poll violence for a while now. I'm speaking about the governor specifically today because he is in Delhi to submit a report, Shikhaji, to the Home Minister of the country. Please help me understand, in your view, whether you think he has crossed a line. Look, 34 people have died in the poll violence in West Bengal. What we have seen play out is unfortunate. Any right-minded citizen would be upset about it. But in your view, has the governor of West Bengal crossed a line, opening this grievance cell / call center at his residence, then going and visiting victims of, violence in West Bengal, and then making all these political statements?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There is a line, and the governor needed to have been far more cautious and circumspect, actually, to keep his position as governor as neutral as possible in whatever has been playing out. And today's, his statement as he's leaving Calcutta, that he's going to Delhi for fresh air, is inappropriate for a governor. It suggests that he is taking a position which is against the state and against whatever is in the state of West Bengal. I mean, he needs to have risen above that and not equated the state with the violence and the politics and the panchayat elections. In doing so, he has kind of made himself a very harsh judge of the state of which he is a governor and therefore represents. Him going to the Union Home Minister and meeting with him is par for course. That's what governors tend to do. Him going and meeting the president, of course, the president is his boss. Fact of the matter remains that governor, in making himself a part of the machinery for ensuring free and fair elections, in the glare of the media, the problem really is how has he crossed the line? I think the way in which the governor has crossed the line is illustrative of the problem that we have here. He's been calling media conferences.
And it's a larger problem, Shikaji.
Sorry.
It's a problem. It's a larger pattern, not just in West Bengal. It's a pattern across opposition rule states. We have seen it in Tamil Nadu. We've seen it in Karnataka. We've seen it in Andhra Pradesh. So we've seen to some extent in Punjab as well. Of course, here Kerala, here in the national capital as well, where we have the LG. So this is a larger pattern that actually is playing out across opposition rule states. And maybe the governor of Bengal felt he needed to fit in with that crowd. We'll leave it there for the moment. Shikha Mukherjee, thank you very much for joining us. Dr. Sen, thank you very much. Zeeshan, thank you very much. And Dr. Sen, thank you very much. This was a very quick discussion, so thanks for your time. With that, it's a wrap from me. Thanks for watching. My colleague Deepak Bopanna is up next with all the news from down south. Do stay with us.